Last speaker, Mayor Tory.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. I will resist the temptation to go back through Cllr Perks' most recent speech, except to make two comments. First of all, he used the word cavalier with respect to the attitude of this council, and I think
it is too much money to have an elevated expressway in the East End.
Taking a cavalier attitude toward the
last year. I still feel that way today, but I'm moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, the last speaker, Mayor Tory.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. I will resist the temptation to go back through Cllr Perks' most recent speech, except to make two comments. First of all, he used the word cavalier with respect to the attitude of this council, and I think that no matter what side anybody is on, there's not a single person in here who is taking a cavalier attitude toward the expenditure of any of the taxpayers' money, and certainly not with respect to amounts like this. And the second thing I'll simply challenge is that, I get, and I'm going to come back to this just in terms of the remarks that I want to make, which are really about the new way that we're trying to make decisions here and the old way we didn't make decisions. And, you reject it. I say respectfully to Cllr Perks, and you're the main spokesperson for that point of view, though not alone today. You reject the fact that actually building a road is part of building a city. I don't. And I think there's an awful lot of people who don't either. And I will spend just as much time as I have up here talking about building transit, and we had a whole debate 2 days ago that was all about building transit and funding it. All steps that were taken, by the way, when you were here, and there was nothing done about any of that. No discussion about moving forward with respect to paying for transit and the kind of $33 billion backlog, which, by the way, when you talk about backlogs, that was built up on your watch here over a period of many, many years. So let me just stick to the old way and the new way. That was the old way. And there are still people in the room who, for I'll call it ideological reasons, and I respect everybody's right to have their sort of set of beliefs that guide them in decision making. There are some who would just say no matter what, we couldn't possibly actually keep an expressway as part of a ring road around Toronto. And then there's a couple of people, including some not far away from me, who actually would sort of say, look, it really doesn't matter if we keep having this debate 10, 15 more times over the next 25 years, because isn't that why we're here? We keep getting sent back here just to have these debates over and over again, and that's their view of what it's all about. It's about somehow just getting yourself reelected and coming back and having the same debates over and over again. I didn't come here for that reason, and I think most of the people in this chamber didn't come here for that reason either. And the old way of making decisions was that you just kept redebating and restudying and redeciding and redebating and restudying and redeciding, and you get involved in the coulda, shoulda, woulda of what happened with mayors several mayors ago. And yet here we are, after having this discussion started with several mayors ago, having it one more time, and there are those who would like that to be the opening of yet another debate on what we do and after all the work that has been done. And each time you have the decision, by the way, it's a polarized decision. I've tried hard, and not with perfection by any means, I concede that, but I've tried hard to be working with my colleagues to have a new way we make decisions. So on this one, for example, the initial vote on maintain versus the hybrid was very close. It was 24 to 21. I concede that. So I could have just gone away and say, well, we won. That's it. Thank you very much, and move ahead. No, what we did is we sat down with some of those most opposed and said, how can we improve this so it becomes acceptable to a broader group of people while still accepting and respecting the fact that the notion of having a ring road was approved by the majority of council. And we did all that work. Our staff deserves all the credit, and everybody worked on it. And the vote after that was 36 to 5. So now we're going to go and start this all over again with all the consequences that Councillor Fletcher quite rightfully set out, which is not just that we delay this, but we delay the Portlands, we delay potentially the Smart Track, RER, rail station, and a host of other things, so we can have one more debate, because there are a group of people who I guess were part of the 5 that just weren't satisfied that they got their way, and therefore we should just keep having this debate over and over again. Somebody, and I just don't think that's the right way to do this, and somebody referred to a chunk of change, and it is a prompt, but I brought it because, yes, it's a lot of money what we're talking about here. This is a chunk of the Gardiner Expressway from east of Jarvis Street, and it didn't fall down, but it could have. It was chipped off because somebody identified a place in the Gardiner where the thing was falling apart, as it is in most places, and I think that is symptomatic of the old way. Just like Scarborough Transit, you leave it, you debate it, you redecide it, you decide it over again to the point where the RT that's out there is completely falling apart. You've done no work to actually move ahead to decide what you're going to do about Scarborough Transit, and somehow that's okay. That's building the city, doing nothing. I don't agree with that. Building the city is making decisions democratically, looking at them carefully, and then deciding. The last vote, by the way, on Scarborough Transit, 27-16. And yet I know there are still people who want to have that one again. But we've got to move forward. We've got to build the city. We've got to stop this and say to people we're going to move forward and build this city. And today gives us a chance to do that. And I really respect the, by and large, constructive attitude that has been brought to the discussion today by everybody. Everybody, even those who are opposed, have been constructive. It's been reasonably brief. Now I say, let's have confidence in our staff, who I have confidence in. They can do a great job. Let's have confidence in ourselves. And let's move forward and build the city. It's time. This tells you it's time to get on with building the city. We've taken the decision. We'll take it today. Let this be the last time. Let's get on with the work. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.